James Vincent here with Lizzy Khutan. I'm going to let her introduce herself. It's an honor to have her as part of the Worship International Worship Company. And so you guys can see her on the videos, worshiping with us and just bringing her portion to the mix. So Lizzy, just introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are.
Yes, hi, I'm Lizzy Khutan. I live in the UK. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, I love the UK. I'm sure you guys love the UK too. We are just based just outside of Uxbridge, which no one ever knows where that is. But I guess we would kind of would say, near Heathrow. Everyone knows where Heathrow is. So our church is not too far from there, maybe like 25 minutes. And I serve at Majesty Champion Centre. I've been serving in the church for the past, I think, 11 or 12 years at this church, where my parents, who are the pastors, felt led, God called them to come and plant a church in the West London in Uxbridge. So, yeah.
Wonderful, yeah, and I've ministered there with you guys, and you guys are wonderful. What all of you must hear me say is that Lizzy is an awesome worship leader. She's great. She's focused. She's not all over the place, and just doing a bunch of stuff for the sake of doing a bunch of stuff. It's one of the things that I notice about her, and I know there are a whole lot of worshipers in the world that I have not met, so I say this knowing that I'm only speaking of whom I've come into, but Lizzy is rare in my opinion. There's so many people who lead worship and they do great, but they're just kind of singing great songs and hoping to have a great service. Where it seems like Lizzy is really desiring to engage with the Lord. So that's really wonderful to see you doing that and to be a part of that when I'm coming to minister with you all. So, Lizzy, tell us about how you got into worship.
Okay. Well, it's pretty crazy. So when I was about 10 years old, we used to have a little worship team in my youth group, and they had a huge grand piano, and I used to play on that sometimes. But I didn't really kind of understand worship at that time. I did have a heart to worship, but it was when I went to South Africa, and when I lived in South Africa, my parents studied at a church called Durban Christian Centre, which was run by Pastor Fred Roberts. And that was a church of, I think it was, oh my days, it was crazy, like 10,000 people or something. And it was huge. They had an amazing worship team there. And at the time I was, I think I was 10. And they really came alongside me, the worship team. And even though I was this young girl, they just really encouraged me in worship. And it was, I would say, during that year that we lived there that I really encountered the Lord for myself, and I really encountered the presence of the Lord. The services were insane. We would see signs, wonders, miracles, people getting healed. The atmosphere, the worship atmosphere was like nothing I had ever experienced in my life. And that year completely changed me. I had such an encounter with the Lord. And then we came back to the UK, and ever since then I had such a passion to worship. I would spend hours upon hours on my own in my room just worshiping the Lord and just singing to him, and like I'd look at the clock, 5 hours would be gone just like that. And I just had this fire. God, I just want to worship you. I just want to be in your presence. And I just found that in those times, and I would just spend those times with him, that he would come and his presence would come, and I would just feel his presence just filling my bedroom, and I would just be in tears just encountering him. And And it all began there. And then from 11 years old, I started leading worship in the first church my parents planted in Devon. I led worship for 10 years there until I was 20. And during that time, it was a lot of preparation. It was quite crazy, really, because, the Lord brought some amazing worshipers. And even at a young age, I'm so thankful for leaders that have a heart for the next generation. We need fathers and mothers of worship, those that will help mentor the next generation rising. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful to my father, Pastor Steve, because he just pulled that out, that gift. He just pulled it out, and he gave us room to worship. On our Sundays, there would be times we didn't even sing song lists. We'd just be singing, flowing, spontaneous worship, and the glory and presence of God would come, and it was just crazy. And I'm truly thankful for leaders like that as well. That started, and then my parents, the Lord called my parents to come to London, and they pioneered a few churches here, and then that's where I've been serving since. It's been just incredible. It's been an honor. My passion is to really really raise up other worshipers, even the people that the Lord brought to our church, and seeing them just singing spontaneously and prophetically and just going for it, writing songs. It's just been just incredible journey. I'm so thankful to God.
Yeah, I love connecting to not just worshipers, but passionate worshipers. It was, if you're watching this video in the year 2024 or whatever, I need to give you guys a reference. This is back in 2019. So this was 2 years ago for me right now. I kind of had this little depression happening inside of me, because I was like, Lord, it just seems like nobody has the passion that I have to do this thing with worshipers, in my, where I was, in the area where I was and where I was serving and who I was connected to on a regular basis. I just felt like, man, I feel like I'm alone in this. And so then, of course, that's when I started getting a little bit more into the network and thinking, okay, invite this person to the network, invite this person to the network. And I'm telling you, it's really invigorating for me to be connected to people like you, Lizzy, because you have a passion that's like mine, and there are many other people who I'm connected to that have a passion that is like mine. To see worship go beyond where we are, who we are, be represented in a way that is not just a four walls representation, and to pour into people who will be carrying this, who are long after we're gone, and they can pour into others the true nature of God and the true nature of worship, and that it's just beyond singing awesome songs and feeling good. It's so far beyond that. So thank you, Lizzy, for what you do. Thank you for being part of the Worship International Worship Company and just bringing your gift to the mix. It's just wonderful to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Coming